Physiowebseries Knee Complex Season 1. Let's begin with knee complex. In Series 1, we will see about the knee muscles, starting with the knee flexors. So let's see what all knee flexors are there. Knee flexors include semimembranosus, semitendinosus, and biceps femoris long and short head. Those will form hamstring group of muscles, which can be appreciated over here. So we can appreciate semimembranosus, semitendinosus, and biceps femoris long head as well as the short head. The biceps femoris can be clearly seen over here, the long head as well as the short head. Discussion of origin insertion will be done in detail later on with the action of those muscles. Now we'll just have a look where the muscle starts and ends. Other than hamstring group of muscle, we have sartorius from ASIS to the proximal tibia, then the gracilis over here, then gastrocnemius, the lateral head and the medial head, and then the Achilles tendon. Via the Achilles tendon, it inserts to the calcaneus over here, and then the popliteus muscle, the last one, can be appreciated this way, coming from lateral femoral condyle to the posterior aspect of tibia and the proximal part of tibia. Now let's have a detailed look of where those muscles or the knee flexors starts, that is their origin, and where they end, that is their insertion. So let's begin with origin and insertion of muscles, starting with the hamstring muscle group, which includes semimembranosus, semitendinosus, and biceps femoris long and short head. So as can be seen in this diagram, semimembranosus, which is over here, starting from the ischial tuberosity, the superolateral impression of ischial tuberosity, and ending as seen in the diagram, inserting at the medial condyle of tibia. Now moving on to semitendinosus. Semitendinosus, as we can see, starts from again ischial tuberosity but the posteromedial impression of ischial tuberosity. Semimembranosus was from superolateral impression, and semitendinosus is from posteromedial impression of ischial tuberosity. Starting from there, it also ends at proximal end of tibia, slightly below the medial tibial condyle. And now let's move on to the biceps femoris. Biceps femoris can be appreciated well in this diagram. First, the long head, which is originating from inferomedial. Superolateral was semimembranosus, posteromedial was semitendinosus, and now inferomedial will originate. The long head of biceps femoris will travel this way and insert at the lateral aspect of fibula. Short head of biceps femoris originating from lateral supracondylar ridge of femur, that is distal linea aspera, as shown in the diagram, again ending at the same point, inserting at the same point, lateral aspect of head of fibula. And also the lateral condyle of tibia as seen over here. So the insertion can be appreciated, the common insertion of biceps femoris, long as well as short head. This was about hamstring group of muscle. Now the next comes the sartorius. So from where it originates and where it goes and inserts. So it originates, as can be seen in this diagram, originates from the ASIS, anterior superior iliac spine, travels this way and inserts at the proximal end of tibia. That too below this medial tibial condyle. And be seen over here, this is the point of insertion and this is the medial condyle of tibia somewhere here. So it comes and inserts at the proximal end of tibia below medial condyle of tibia. Patient in supine lying with hip knee flexed, it can be appreciated this way. In this diagram, starting from the ASIS and inserting to medial tibial condyle below that proximal end of tibia. So this was about sartorius. Starting from ASIS going to proximal end of tibia below medial tibial condyle via the pes anserinus. Pes anserinus is also known as goose foot. Okay, we'll study later. It is the common insertion, common tendon inserting of certain muscles. One we saw is the sartorius. We'll discuss in detail about it later. So this was about sartorius muscle. Now next is the gracilis muscle. So from where it originates? From the ischiopubic ramus and the anterior body of pubis, and it travels and inserts to again the proximal tibia at the medial surface of the tibia, again via the pes anserinus, where the sartorius was also inserting with the common tendon. We can have a look over here. Ischiopubic ramus, anterior body of pubis. There the gracilis will originate or start and travel down to the proximal aspect of tibia at the medial surface of the tibia. That was about gracilis. Next comes the gastrocnemius. We all know it has two heads, lateral head and the medial head. So the lateral head is coming from lateral femoral condyle, posterolateral aspect, and the medial head comes from the medial femoral condyle, posterior surface, additionally also from the popliteal surface of the femoral shaft. So lateral femoral condyle, medial femoral condyle and the popliteal surface of femoral shaft. This will be the start point of the lateral head and medial head of gastrocnemius, traveling this way, and then there will be Achilles tendon to insert to the calcaneus. So here will be the insertion of gastrocnemius. So it inserts at the posterior surface of calcaneus via the Achilles tendon. That was about gastrocnemius. Now let's continue with popliteus. As we can appreciate in this diagram, the origin is from lateral condyle of the femur over here, and also from the posterior horn of the lateral meniscus of knee joint. So lateral condyle of femur, lateral meniscus posterior horn of knee joint starts over here. As we can see, this part is the origin where the popliteus tendon is there, and then travels this way and inserts at the proximal tibia posterior surface. So it covers the posterior aspect and proximal tibia. So starts from the lateral condyle of femur and posterior horn of lateral meniscus of knee joint, and this way the popliteus originates and then inserts to proximal tibia posterior surface. Can be well appreciated over here at the back of the knee. Origin and insertion. So this was about popliteus.